Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to start this brand new series talking about the zero trust, least privilege access and all the things about the cybersecurity and protecting your business from external threats. This first episode will be the basement for everything that I will do later in this series. And so firstly, we need to address the workspace, the working environment of you as a business owner. If you run an agency, if you run websites, or if you're managing servers, you need to make sure that you have really secure workspace environment. So in this slideshow, as you can see, it will be introduction to secure work environments using local virtual machines that can be run on your current system. So first I will go over the slide that I have created, and after the slideshow there will be practical demonstration how we can install those virtual machines, how we can manage them, etc. etc. So I really hope that you will like this introduction and this completely zero trust series on my channel. And as always, give it a like, share it. It really helps to grow my channel. And also it helps other people discover my content that can help them greatly. So enjoy the video and hopefully you will like it. Welcome to our series on Zero Trust Security. As I mentioned in this first episode, we will explore a critical aspect of modern cybersecurity practices, separating personal and business workspaces to enhance security. As the boundaries between personal and professional lives blur, especially in today's increasingly remote work environment, the risk associated with using the same devices for both personal and business activities have significantly escalated. We will begin discussing the common problems faced when personal and business environments are mixed, such as increased vulnerability to cyber threats and other complications rising from data breaches. We will also address the severe consequences of personal devices being stolen or lost, highlighting how these events can expose business data and disrupt your operations. Following this, we will introduce virtual machines, in short VMs, as a robust solution to these challenges. VMs allows us to create isolated and secure environments on a single physical device, ensuring that business operations are safeguarded against the security shortcomings of a personal device usage. This episode will guide you through the setting up a virtual machine using popular tools, configuring it for maximum security, and managing it efficiently. By the end of this season, you will understand why using VMs is a crucial strategy for any businesses looking to implement zero trust principles and enhance their overall security posture. So let's dive in and discover how to protect your business with advanced yet accessible technological solutions. Common problems accessing business from personal workspace. The boundaries between personal and professional life are increasingly blurred, especially with the rise of remote work and use of personal devices for business tasks. The mixing of personal and business workspaces often leads to significant security risk. Personal devices and networks typically lack the robust security measures that are standard in business environments, making them more susceptible to cyber threats like malware, phishing attacks, and unauthorized access. For instance, a simple act of checking work emails on a personal laptop or desktop can expose the entire business network to risk that if laptop or desktop is compromised. Furthermore, this practice complicates the compliance with data protection regulations, as personal devices might not meet the stringent requirements needed to secure sensitive information. The result is an increased likelihood of data breaches which can lead to financial losses, reputational damage, and legal repercussions. Addressing these vulnerabilities require a clear separation of personal and business workspaces to uphold security standards and ensure business continuity. Another common problem is stolen or lost personal computers. When personal devices that are used for business purposes are stolen or lost, the risk extends beyond the personal inconveniences to pose serious security threats to business operations. Such incidents can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive business information, resulting in potentially catastrophic data breaches. The exposure of confidential data not only undermines the trust with the clients and partners, but also attracts legal penalties and financial losses due to non-compliance with data protection regulations. Furthermore, if these devices are not adequately secured through strong encryption, robust password, and multi-factor authentication, the potential for security breaches increases significantly. This highlights the critical need for businesses to adopt secure practices, such as using virtual machine on encrypted external drives, which can mitigate the impact of such events by ensuring that business data remains protected regardless of the device physical security. So what is the solution for using virtual machines to segregate workspaces? To mitigate risk associated with mixing personal and business workspaces, employing virtual machine VMs presents an effective and very scalable solution. Virtual machines allow for the creation of completely isolated environments on a single physical device. This separation ensures that activities within the business VM are securely contained and unaffected by any threats that might compromise the personal environment. By using VMs, businesses can enforce robust security policies such as strong authentication mechanism, encryption, and detailed access controls tailored specifically to protect sensitive business data. Additionally, VMs enhance compliance with data protection regulations by clearly delineating and securing business operation from personal use. For small businesses and freelancers, this approach is particularly attractive as it offers a very cost-effective method to achieve enterprise-level security without the need for additional hardware investments. Implementing VMs not only boosts security, but also increases operational efficiency by allowing safe, flexible access to business resources from any location, ensuring that personal device vulnerabilities do not impede business continuity. What are the benefits of using virtual machines to segregate workspaces? First is enhanced security. VMs provide a strong isolation barrier between the business environment and the personal space, which significantly reducing the risk of cross-contamination from malware or other security threats. Control access. Access to VMs can be tightly controlled through authentication protocols, ensuring that only authorized users can access the business data. Compliance with regulation. By isolating sensitive data within a virtual machine, businesses can more comply with data protection regulations, as the VM environments can be configured to meet specific legal and security standards. Cost-effective. Using VMs allows businesses to utilize existing hardware rather than investing in separate physical machines for businesses and personal use, reducing overall IT costs. Consistent work environment. Those virtual machines can be configured to provide a consistent operating environment regardless of the host machine, so it will simplify the IT management and the user training. Disaster recovery. VMs can be backed up and restored very quickly, providing an efficient solution for data recovery and business continuity in the event of hardware failure or other disruptions. Flexibility and portability. Business virtual machines can be moved between different machines or carried on external drives, allowing for flexibility and mobility without compromising the security of your business data. Resource efficiency. Virtual machines allow for efficient use of computing resources by allocating exactly what is necessary for the business processes, potentially improving the performance compared to running all tasks on a single operating system. So what are the requirements for using local virtual machines? So first we have some hardware requirements that you will need to have. You will need to have a recent multi-core processor, at least 8 GB of RAM for your system, with additional memory allocated for each virtual machine. High-speed external SSD with sufficient storage for virtual machine and data. I personally use Samsung T7 Shield, which is very fast NVMe USB 4 SSD. There are some software requirements. Virtualization software such as VMware Workstation Pro or open source Oracle VM VirtualBox, which can run on Windows, Linux, or Parallels Desktop, which you can run on Mac OS systems. Then you will need to choose your desired operating system for the virtual machine. It can be either Windows 10, Ubuntu 22.4 desktop, or Fedora Workstation. The choice is yours, but in this tutorial I will be using Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC for IoT devices. There are some network and security requirements. Your main host machine needs to be encrypted. If you are using Windows, you can use BitLocker. If you don't have access to BitLocker, you can use something like Asset Disk Security, or in the Linux, you can use LVM encryption. Also, you will need to have some antivirus software on your main host machine to protect against malware and network threats. Network settings to isolate VM traffic for enhanced security. Usually in VMware Workstation, it is done automatically with a NAT adapter. Backup and management. You will need to utilize regular automated backups to external storages or cloud services like Borgbase, Backblaze, etc. Performance monitoring tools to ensure efficient VM operation. This is optional. And that's it for this slide about separating your personal and business environment. And now it's time to perform the practical demonstration where I will show you how you can install those virtual machines and everything what I mentioned here in this slideshow. So let's get started. Alright, so we are now on my desktop, and before you continue, you need to make sure that your system is clean of any malware, any viruses, any threats. Do your antivirus scan if you have, and if is everything clean, feel free to continue. But if not, clean your system, or even better, just wipe your system, your drives, and install the operating system again. In my OS, what I'm using is Windows 10 LTSC Enterprise for IoT devices, and also you have asked what I'm using as my main computer, and it is Minisforum UM790 Pro, which is small form factor computer, and it comes with a lot of performance. Like you have almost the latest Ryzen 9, 64 GB of DDR5 memory, and 2 NVMe 1 TB drives, which for my use case, for my personal and business, that's completely fine for me. Next thing what you need to basically take care of is your authentication to your host system. I'm using a YubiKey for this, which is a hardware authentication token. You can get it on ubico.com. I will leave all the links in the description and also in the blog post. And the great thing about Ubico is that you can get the 5 FIPS series, which is certified for government and regulated organizations. And you don't need to be worried about those hardware keys. It is really simple and easy to use. And they are relatively affordable, 90 euros for this Nano. For my for my YubiKey, where I'm on the go or on the holiday, I'm using 5C NFC, which when I need to authenticate to the server, I need to do some administrative tasks. I will be prompted to put this key near to my phone so NFC can communicate and I can authenticate to the server. And for my backup key, you always need to have 2 or 3 keys, and one need to be always backup. And the reason is, for example, if you lost your main YubiKey, then you cannot access or log in anything that is protected by it. So that's why necessary to have your own secondary backup key, which you will need to store somewhere safe, where only you can get access to it in case you lost your other keys. For the virtualization software, as I mentioned, I'm going to be using VMware Workstation Pro, which I like to use, but if you want to go open source route, you can definitely use Oracle VM VirtualBox or boxes, which comes with GNOME distributions, I think. And if you are on Mac, you can use Parallels, which is another great virtualization software. And also, before we start, you will need to download your system that you want to install in this virtual environment. You can download Windows, Ubuntu, or Fedora, or whatever distribution you like to have as your workspace. For example, my main workspace is Kali Linux, because I also do some security and penetration testing, so Kali is obvious choice for me and is really fast and stable. So download the software, and in the meantime I will have some small coffee break, like Network Chuck I used to say always. And yeah, so coffee break. So once we have your operating system of your choice downloaded, next thing what you need to do is to download either VMware Workstation, Oracle, or Parallels, install it, and then we can install the guest operating system in our virtual environment. So let me open the VMware Workstation. And as you can see, the interface is pretty slick and easy to use. But there are some things that you will need to set by default. So when you go to Edit, Preferences, first thing what you need to basically enable are the snapshots of the virtual machines, and also for the display, if you have a graphic accelerator or graphics card, you want to enable it for virtual machines. For the updates, always enable your security updates. And I think for the memory, that's fine. And for the devices, you want to disable automatic execution when you plug in your USB devices. And for the VMs, let me go here. For example, I think now we can deploy our virtual machine that we downloaded. So usually you right click, you select new virtual machine, and you will be presented by the installation wizard. So I like to go with custom advanced because I want to do everything by myself, but you can usually follow the recommended way. But let's do the advanced as I'm doing always. I go next. Here I will select the hardware compatibility, which is with the latest workstation. If you're running older, you can select those workstations versions. Let's go next. For the installer disk image file, now it's time to select the ISO that you downloaded with the operating system. So let me do browse, and I will select Windows 10 IoT Enterprise LTSC. Let's click open, and I go next. Here is the product key. Usually you don't have to enter it. So for the key, you need to search Google Windows 10 generic keys, and you can just copy this one. Let me close it, and let's go back to our installation. Enter your key there, and let me do this. And you also want to choose your strong and secure password. The logon automatically I don't recommend because this is against the zero trust principles, which is always verify. So I don't tick that box. For the virtual machine name, you can choose the name you want. And for the location, I go to set it up on my secondary disk, which is also encrypted. I'm gonna use new folder. So I'm gonna name it virtual machines. Click OK. Click next. For the firmware type, UEFI is always fine. And here is the processor configuration. So here you specify how many CPU cores you want to give to this particular virtual machine. Usually for Windows, I just do 2 cores and 2 threads. So in total, I'm gonna have 4 cores, which is enough. Go next. For the memory, I recommend 4 gigabytes of memory. If you have more, you can add more, that's fine. Go next. For the network type, I use network translation, which is basically, it will get your host IP address, but it will be separated from the main network, which is great from a security standpoint. You go next. Recommended is fine. For the IO controller, select this type NVMe, and when you have the select disk, you want to create your new virtual disk. You want to allocate how many gigabytes for the disk you want to give, and usually I like to use allocate the disk space now, and I like to use it in the multiple files, which is very great if you want to copy this virtual machine onto your external drive and you want to have on the go with you all the time. So let's go next. You can check also customize hardware, and we will accelerate the 3D graphics, and everything is set by default, so we can close and we can finish. And now the VMware is creating this 60 gigabyte disk that will be available for this virtual machine. So now the disk is created and the Windows will start the installation. So I will skip this part and we will continue when the Windows installation is done. So once we have our system installed, now we can proceed with the encryption of this virtual machine and also to set snapshots for backups. So first of all, you need to shut down the guest. And once this is done, what you want to do is edit virtual machine settings. You can go to options. For the snapshot, you want to take a new snapshot every time you shut down the system. And for the auto protect, you can also do it. You can set up your intervals, whatever you want. I like to do every hour, and I like to keep at least 4 snapshots within the every hour. For the guest isolation, you can enable drag and drop and copy and paste from your host operating system to your guest, which is really great. And for the access control, now it's time to encrypt this machine. So you click encrypt. And also you want to encrypt all files. And you enter the password. And you want to choose password that is strong. It has characters, 3 to 4 special characters, and ideally you will need to store it in the Bitwarden. And remember the password on this machine. No, that's against zero trust, so every time you will need to enter your password manually, which is secure. And we can click encrypt. And now the VMware is encrypting the virtual machine. Alright, so the encryption is done. You can also synchronize the time with the host. And if you want to run this in your local network that you want to have access on this computer, you can also enable the VNC. But the data sent or VNC is not encrypted, so I don't recommend using it. Auto login not available. And for the default, I think that's it. And we can click OK. And for the snapshot manager, when you right click over your virtual machine, you can go to snapshot manager. And here you can also see the auto protect settings that you have. And you also can create your snapshot right now because it is a fresh install. So let me take the snapshot. It's gonna be fresh install. And we're going to take the snapshot. And we can close it. Now we can start our virtual machine again. And we are back. Before we continue, always make sure you have the latest updates from your operating system. And once all the updates are applied, we will continue customizing this system. So the updates are done and I rebooted the machine, and as you can see, now you need to enter the encryption password you have set up to encrypt this virtual machine. So let me do that. And we're gonna continue. And we're going to power this machine back again. Okay, so next thing what I like to do is to set up my endpoint protection software. So let me skip this edge thingy that always is here. I don't like it. I'm gonna complete, confirm, back. And I will download the installer now. And I'm going to run it. Continue, and basically that's it for this part of the video. And the next part, what we are going to take a look is how you can take your business workspace with you and those kind of things. So to take your virtual machine with you basically is really straightforward and easy. What you need to do is to open your folder with the virtual machine that you have specified when creating the virtual machine, and then you just need to copy this folder over to external USB SSD. So let me just copy it, and we will continue once this process is done. So our virtual machine have been moved to our external disk. And when you want to import, for example, on a new computer or a new system, etc., it's really easy. You right click and you go to File, Scan for virtual machines. You browse the virtual machine, and as you can see, it already finds all the files that you need in order to get your virtual machine up and running. Let's go next, and let's go finish, and it's done. We can close it, and now we can start it. And again, you need to add a password. Continue, and now we can power on the machine. And now we are booting this virtual machine from the external drive. So that's it for this first video. And if you follow everything, whether you was using Oracle VirtualBox Parallels or VMware Workstation Pro, now you should have your secure business working environment separated from your main local machine. And seriously guys, this is really important that you need to have this in mind. You cannot mix your personal and your business together. There are so many phishing emails, so many malware campaigns targeting personal accounts that it may look very legitimate, but if you don't have any protection, or you was busy doing something and this just came, or somebody interrupted you, you just click the link or open the PDF, then all of the data is basically gone. They will steal your cookies, hijack sessions, infect your network, and so many malicious things. You need to be seriously careful. And also the growth of AI is really helping those attackers get their job done. So with this approach, you are 99% secure, because there's no 100% security out there. What we can do to mitigate the risk is putting walls behind everything and separating everything. There are also possible options to have zero trust secure workspaces in the cloud. And if you are a regular viewer of a Webnestify channel, you already know that I can also offer secure workspaces, which they run on the cloud in the server. And this is another great thing. For example, if you have employees and they just have like small machines and they don't run basically any kind of software needed for the business. So the secure workspaces can save you a lot of money. You don't need to purchase licenses for each operating system, since those can be run on a virtual private server, and basically you can delegate each workspace for the employee so they can connect in their browser to their own desktop environment. And it is a really great, cool and open source platform, custom workspaces. And I will also cover this, how you can deploy your own custom workspaces in the future in this tutorial, because it is also part of the zero trust. And you may be thinking that those kind of things are in the cloud, right? The server provider have constant access to the server, to the network. Yes, that's completely true. If the server provider, for example Hetzner, got hacked, or they do some employee open some phishing link, that's a certain possibility that can happen. But what we can do to protect in the cloud is to protect it from itself with various firewall rules and other things like running in Docker containers. So all of these custom workspaces can allow you to do. So I will cover it in the near future in Zero Trust series. And if you want those secure workspaces in the meantime, or you want a demo, feel free to visit my website. You can schedule a demo with Webnestify and me, and I can personally walk you through, and it is very easy and simple to use. It's like a virtual machine, but on a different level. So I hope you like this first video in Zero Trust series. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments down below and I'll be more than happy to answer. All the links for the software will be in the description and also in the blog post that I will create from the slide that I've done at the beginning. And yeah, see you in another great video, and take care and bye bye.